You're just about to open your tax statement from last year, and you're just reminiscing about how tough of a year it was in terms of just emotional, physiological, just thinking about your family and your job, with so many bills to pay, not to mention the huge lump sum of taxes that came with it. You just finished ripping open that tax statement, only to your despair. Turns out last year you paid over $2,000 more in federal taxes. What did you have to pay for that federal taxes? Well, you'll see. Even though this is a hypothetical story, this could very well happen to you. The problem is that our jails and prisons all throughout the U.S. are overcrowded. Overcrowding in jails and prisons is a serious problem that is happening now. As copyrighted in January 2012 by jailvercrowding.com, a website backed by the Bureau of Justice Statistics and the PEW Charitable Trust Organization, each year over 600,000 people are admitted to state and federal prisons. As aforementioned by jailvercrowding.com, over 10 million people are incarcerated in local jails each year. Jailvercrowding.com also went on to say that if someone were to add up the populations of the prison, jail, and probation community together, it would exceed 7 million people, or 1 in every 32 adults. As stated by Mark Earley, an American politician who once held a spot in the Virginia State Senate, on his website breakpoint.org in September 2009, the number of people in jails has doubled since 1990. According to the website aboundinglove.org, a prison-based outreach Christian ministry, in July 2011 in USA, there are over 2 million prisoners locked up today. As copyrighted in January 2012 by the New Yorker newspaper, every day at least 50,000 people, or a full house at Yankee Stadium, wake in solitary confinement in New York prisons today. As referenced in the Boston Globe newspaper, in November 2007, the U.S. incarceration rate is the world's highest, followed only by Russia. As stated on the website prisonpolicy.org, a prison research site backed by the U.S. Census Bureau, in April 2010, overcrowding continues to be a problem in both state and federal prisons, in which most facilities are operating at more than 100% capacity rate. As copyrighted in the Wall Street Journal magazine in February 2009, California must reduce its prison population by as many as 57,000 people due to overcrowding. As mentioned on the website change.org, a social action petition website, in June 2009, due to high overcrowding, an estimated 60,500 state and federal prisoners were sexually abused over the course of a 1-year period due to high overcrowding. The effects of high overcrowding in prisons and jails are dire. As aforementioned by the New Yorker newspaper, prison rape is so endemic. Each year, more than 70,000 prisoners are raped. What does this cause? This causes STDs to be transmitted more easily. Once the prisoners get out of prison, they're going to be more experienced, more people, they're going to have some flings with others, and that's going to cause those STDs to be transmitted more easily. As mentioned by jailvercrowding.com, the average operating cost per state, per inmate, is around $23,876, or $65.41 a day. We are the ones having to pay for this. And the more and more prisoners that are brought into our prisons and jails each year results in us having to pay higher state and federal taxes. As aforementioned by aboundinglove.com, the prison operating costs will increase from $2.5 billion a year to as much as $5 billion a year by 2013. Thus saying, it's only predicted, and with factual information, that our taxes are going to go way higher. We are not only the ones having to pay for the cost of prisoners, but also the cost of having to maintain these prisons, which is also taking a toll on our taxes. Prisoners may be harmed due to the harmful effects of overcrowding. Mentally, they will go crazy with the constant rush and competition for resources in the prison. Physically, they're going to get into more fights over just the food, who's going to be able to sleep on the bed, who gets what corner of the room, all that stuff. And those more fights are going to cause for us having to pay for their medical bills, just another thing that's going to cause our taxes to go up. Socially, these prisoners, when they're released from the system, are going to be less likely to interact with others, and they're going to be more withdrawn, which is totally against what our just free America is just saying, our idea. We want everyone to be happy, just want everyone to get along. We need to create a new law regarding how to deal with these prison overcrowding. We need to stop jailing people for minor crimes. For example, just possession of drugs, stealing in a nonviolent way, just anything that doesn't result in like physical or just interaction that involves people where someone gets hurt. Instead, these people should be put on house arrest or parole. State and local governments will be the ones to enforce these laws. The penalty for the law, if it's not enforced, will be severe. The first offense will be another year of parole or house arrest. The second offense will result in a $5,000 fine. The third offense will result in a 6-month jail sentence. Now I know it's going against what I say about prison overcrowding, but I figure by the third offense, the person must be really bad and they deserve to go to jail. This law will help lower the population of our prisoners in our jailing system today. By reducing the amount of prisoners in our jailing system, it will result in lower federal taxes. This law will make sure that our prisons and jails do not get overcrowded, since many people are incarcerated just because of minor crimes. Things will get worse if you don't all get involved. Your taxes are going to go up. We are going to be the ones having to pay to keep these prisoners kept locked up. New prisons are going to have to be built, so we're going to have to pay to fund the projects. More prisons equals more destruction of wildlife, and that's not something we'd all want to see. Wherever prisons are built, the area will become more industrialized. And just thinking back to all the WPA projects in the 1920s when Teddy Roosevelt was just trying to enrich our country's natural wildlife, this is just totally just being a downturn for that. If we continue on this trend, our future is going to look more like Nazi Germany with all of our prisons as compared to their internment camps than a free country with fewer prisons. I need all your help to make a difference. I need you all to contact Michelle Bachman. You can contact her at 320-253-5931. Tell her that you support this law and want to support it as well. Let's work together to keep people out of jail.